Hi, I'm Jennifer Manson and I'm the Flow Writer. I help people develop writing skills and write books. So today I'm going to talk to you about my experience of writing just 5 minutes a day. This is something I discovered when I realized that my life was so busy that I wasn't getting much writing done, and I was more and more frustrated with that. I knew that I needed to be writing and I wanted to be doing that even though my life was really busy. So what I decided to do was just promise myself that I would write for 5 minutes a day, whether that was in the morning or in the evening or in the afternoon. And even if I got to the end of the day and I realized I hadn't done it, 5 minutes was something that I could do before I went to bed without feeling like, oh, it's too late, I haven't got time to do that. So I started writing 5 minutes a day, and I held to that really because I wanted to be more pleasant to live with. I knew that when I wasn't writing and I was frustrated, that I wasn't so great to be around. And that was the purpose, was just to fulfill my sense that that's what I needed to be doing. And if I was just writing for 5 minutes a day, at least I was honoring that side of myself in some way. What was really interesting was that when I started to do that, I started to write without any sense of what the quality of the writing was, or what I was doing, or why I was doing it, or anything beyond just the fact that I was a writer and I needed to write. So I promised myself I'd write 5 minutes a day. I did that, and amazingly, within 2 months, I had finished writing a novel. And I did have the background behind me, I had the practice behind me, I had some learning behind me. I had attended Robert McKee's story course in New York, and I had understood the idea of story arcs and how the structure of a story should work. But just the act of sitting down to write every day, working on the same piece every day, gave me a follow through and an impetus. And I promised myself my 5 minutes, but if I was still enjoying it at the end of that time, I would keep going. So most days I wrote for half an hour or an hour. Some days it was just 5 minutes. Some days it was just a line, and some days I did miss. But what I learned after a few weeks was that as long as I didn't miss 2 days, then the continuity really carried me through. What was also interesting was at the end of that time, the end of that couple of month period where I had finished a 60,000 word novel, was because I had continued and I had worked on it every day. There was a continuity with it, which meant that when I came to edit, there was line editing I needed to do. There were repeated words, there were repeated concepts. But the structure as a whole worked really well because I had stayed in contact with it through that one creative arc. So I would suggest you have a go at that. Just try writing for 5 minutes a day and promising yourself that, just to keep yourself in the mode of writing and in that commitment, and see what happens. Thanks for listening, and I will see you soon.